Yo, what's good, guys? It's Hens. I'm back again with another DPL Draft League video. Basically, this week I've got week 3 versus prehistoric Pokemon. Good friend of mine from the DPL Discord server. Great player. I believe he also helps out with the admin kind of stuff on that in the league. So yeah, shouts to him for that, and also shouts to Mimolette for helping me prep and build this weekend, supporting me during my battle. I know he's been really busy with Smoke on Tour and all of that kind of thing at the moment. So really appreciate that, Mimo. Thanks a lot. Yeah, big shout outs, like real life legend, guys. Yeah, just thanks a bunch to Mimo, really. But basically, I'll just show you guys what I was thinking going into this week. I wanted to bring Magneton plus this Empoleon set I was thinking to begin with. I wanted to force him to bring in Skarmory so that I could knock it off. And you guys will see his team here. Basically, the biggest issue that I had was that my Dragonite, I didn't think my Dragonite or this Cresselia set that I thought of could really go in until I removed his Skarmory. So I was going to try and knock off a Shed Shell by forcing him to switch it in to deal with my Empoleon here. I was going to try and knock off a Shed Shell to remove that, and then the idea would be that a Magneton, which I don't actually have on this one build, would be able to then take him out with a T-Bolt later on in the game, right? That was the plan, and then that would mean that basically Dragonite, or this Cresselia set that I've engineered, which I'll talk about in a minute, will be able to really go in. Excuse me. As for pivots, I had Silvally, Fairy. I thought I really needed a pivot that could come in well on Mineshaw, because that is a huge. If you guys see here, I'll probably post a little picture of the team here. If you guys see, Mineshaw is a big ass threat to my team. I really can't deal to mess around with it. So yeah, this will have multi attack on it. So basically, these were the kind of thoughts I was having coming into this game. This would be a defensive speed creep for something, maybe something like Incineroar or something like that, something relatively slow, so I didn't have to use up a lot of my defensive EVs. But yeah, Heal Block was a nice tech that I was thinking about because it would keep his millions of recover spam mons nice and low. For some reason, they didn't give Silvally any good moves. Silvally gets 0 physical fighting moves. The only fighting move he gets is hidden power fighting, funnily enough. Silvally doesn't get Taunt, which really sucks as well. And what was it? The other thing that they didn't give Silvally knockoff either, which I was very upset about. And I also think they should have made Z moves able to make Silvally's type change as well. I think that would have made it a lot more viable. They could have made these memories do a 1.1 stat boost. Not stat boost, a 1.1 boost to that type. Anyway, I'm not going to get into what I think the Pokemon Company could have done better with Silvally. That's a whole another 10-minute video, okay? We got the Empoleon set, like I said, Mamoswine, no, not Mamoswine, Piloswine. I knew I wanted rocks in this game because they chip down a lot of stuff, and this is a defensive accelgor, and the idea is that this set could basically guard a little bit against a Mineshaw, and also just be generally annoying with spikes. Spikes are amazing versus my opponent's draft. They really chip things into range. So this was my finalized build here, and as you'll see again, it does not have Magneton, and the reason is because I found if I set up Stealth Fox with this defensive Empoleon that I have here, and then force my opponent to come into Silvally, and where's Silvally? Silvally's up here. And force my opponent to come into Silvally with their Skarmory as I heal block. My opponent doesn't even get leftovers, and they take the chip, which means that my Dragonite's Thunder Punch, Electrum Z, at +1 Electrum Z will OHKO Skarmory after 2 sets of rocks plus 1 set of leftovers, every single time, which is absolutely perfect. It's just what I need, really, because what I was thinking is, looking at my opponent's team, do you know what actually really does win with rocks up is this Cresselia set. If I can remove a potential Whirlwind Skarmory, this set literally beats every single Pokemon on his team. Every single one of them. The only issue being Incineroar, which of course I can Toxic and then switch around. It's getting chipped down by hazards, all this kind of thing, especially if I remove Skarmory. He's going to have a lot of difficulties. I don't think he can even remove hazards unless he brings a default Crobat. So yeah, I think that's absolutely amazing for me. And if I show you guys some calcs as well, Choice Scarf Staraptor is amazing in this game. Just because if I remove Skarmory with my Dragonite in the earlier game, then how does he switch in to Choice Scarf Bravebird. He just doesn't, okay, which is amazing. And this accelgor set was basically similar to the one that I showed you guys a second ago, but it's even more defensive. And I thought actually this was better. If I need to show you guys this this accelgor set, because this accelgor set is something else. Okay, it says UU Assault Vest, but just ignore that. I've given it a Choice Scarf, Reckless, and 252 attack EVs. This never 2 kills me with high jump kick ever, and I'm able to spike up. I'm able to spike up on a reckless high jump kick Mind Shout, okay? And this is a Pokemon with base 40 defense. Absolutely incredible. Blown away by how bulky a Accelgor can be if you EV it right, really. And it's all because, you know, when you think about lower defense stats, people think, oh, that's useless, right? But with a really low defense stat, the more EVs you invest, the more of a profound difference it actually has on the stat, not on the base stat total, but on the end value that you get. And so as a result, this Accelgor's defense is incredible. This is like almost double what it has without any investment. And of course, I've got 200 EVs in HP as well. So it is eating up all kinds of hits, which is absolutely great. And this is basically, this is a check to Mind Shout. This is a check to Mega Venusaur, because I've got Acid Spray, so I slowly 1v1 it. And of course I've got Encore to make him waste extra syntheses here and there if it comes down to it. And also to piss off Chansey. And Skarmory, and to help me keep a layer of spikes versus his defoggers, right? Which is amazing. And of course, U-turn makes this a great pivot. Now I decided not to go for a cover in the end because I wanted to have an attacking move outside of U-turn, and I thought Acid Spray was just generally quite good because of the special attack drop. And I needed the pivot move, and I kind of needed Encore as just something to guard against setup spammers, really, because they can be a little bit scary, you know. So yeah, I just thought this set was absolutely awesome. So you know, I had to give it a try. On the special side, I have my Empoleon here to guard versus something like a Nasty Bat. I can just roar that, because obviously he might be thinking, oh, if I bring Nasty Bat, I Nasty Plot up. If I've got Roost, I just sweep him, right? But no, that's not going to happen because I've got Roar on my Empoleon. So that's great. I've also got Stealth Fox on my Empoleon, so I can yeah, I can keep those up versus most of his foggers as well, because Scald Burn is detrimental to a lot of Pokemon on his team. Crobat doesn't want a Scald Burn, and neither does Skarmory, and he has no other defoggers. So it should be able to get up Vox versus most Pokemon on my opponent's team, which is brilliant. Defog I just thought was quite nice, especially when I've got Scarf, Raptor, Dragonite, and an Accelgor, and of course, you know, yeah. I just thought, yeah, very useful. And of course, I do also have Defog on my Silvally. You guys might think, oh, I could bring something else. But at the end of the day, if Dragonite and Staraptor and Accelgor are important pivots in this game, then I want to keep them as healthy as possible. And that includes Silvally, to be honest. The more time Silvally comes in on Vox, the more difficulty it's going to have taking hits from Mind Shout. If my opponent's got a Life Orb Mind Shout and I'm taking Vox, I come in on high jump kick once, I take Vox again, and then he poison jabs me, I probably die to that combined damage. So yeah, let me just talk about this Cresselia set for a second before we go into the battle here. Really briefly, this is an awesome set. So if you guys look at the stats I've got here, this HP stat right here, 409 is amazing. Right, 404 is the number of HP EVs that you need for your substitutes not to be broken by a seismic toss. So this Cresselia here, 1v1's Chansey. Yeah. It's awesome, isn't it? So I'm really excited to use this. Calm Mind plus Side Shock plus Substitute is amazing versus Chansey. And my only worries about Pokemon that can beat this on his team are Skarmory with Whirlwind, which I can remove with my Electrium Z Dragonite. Right, and he probably, well, most likely will not be expecting that. If anything, he might think Fire Z and have a Fire Berry, but I highly doubt he will expect Electrum Z. So I'm really excited about that. Toxic is brilliant because I can Toxic Incineroar to help chip it down. And the really great thing about Toxic is if my opponent is prepping for a Subcalm Mind Cresselia and brings their own Subcalm Mind, and brings their own like Calm Mind Rest or something like that. What's it called? It'll be over here. I'll put a little paste of it here. Meloetta, that's it. I can Toxic that. And beat it 1v1. Right, which is absolutely amazing. That's so instrumental for this team, right? To have something that is going to be able to beat that really nicely. And you know, if it's a rest form, then obviously I've got Empoleon to roar it out. And you know, if it's just a really bulky Subcalm Mind one, then Empoleon can also roar it out. Likewise, Accelgor can Encore it and set up infinite layers of hazards on it as well. it can encore it and then get U-turn as well, which is amazing, right? Because encore into U-turn also gathers me momentum, and it also means that if he stays into setup again, then I can actually go Empoleon and roar him if I want, or I can go into my own Staraptor, click U-turn again to keep my momentum in case he switches still, and then go accelgor to encore him again if I need to, right? Which is brilliant. So yeah. I think that this is a good prep. Shout out to Mimilet again for helping me prep. Really helped me out with the finalizing of all of basically what I was bringing. I think it's a good shout on the Scarf Staraptor. I think that was mainly Mimo's idea, and the Electrum Z Dragonite. Yeah, I really think that this is a good bring because Skarmory is amazing versus my team. I don't see why my opponent wouldn't bring it. So yeah, that's my prep. Hopefully we get a nice end game with Cresselia. It's looking amazing in this game. So yeah. I will see you guys in the battle. Okay guys, welcome back to the replay. Basically, really excited for this game. Some really cool things that Pri has brought. Shout outs to Pri, shout outs to Mimo for helping me team build. Big shout outs to Pri for being such a legend during the timing of this match, because my timekeeping this weekend was all over the place. So real G, Pri, thanks a lot for looking out for me like that, allowing me to basically to reschedule because I just didn't have the time. So really appreciate that. In this game, really excited. I think I've got really good prep here. You guys have probably seen the team builder just before this video. I usually put it on the front of the video. And also, great to see that my opponent didn't bring the Skarmory, because that means, as you guys will probably know, this Cresselia set is incredible versus his team. Okay, so let's get straight into the replay. So here, I've got my Empoleon, leads off versus his Crobat. This is brilliant. I get up rock straight away. There's nothing that I'm not happy about there. Accelgor comes on in here on the Giga Drain. I'm very happy with this. This is an opportunity to get up Spike straight away. However, I did decide to U-turn. Didn't want to take a Toxic, didn't want to take a Sludge Bomb, so I just go hard and Empoleon there just to scout what he's going to do. I do go for a Scold here just to see what my opponent has, hoping for a burn. Unfortunately, I do not get one, but it's all good. I can just go back out into Accelgor here again on the Giga Drain, and that's all good because I can just click Encore here and show my opponent that he can't beat me 1v1. I believe I go for a U-turn here. Yeah, so I really don't want my hazards being defogged. So I'm just really making sure that my hazards stay up. I go Staraptor here to get the pressure going, and my opponent goes Mudsdale. That is absolutely fine with me, as I'm going to be able to get off some chip here with the Brave Bird. Shout out to my man Mimolet for turning up to this game and supporting. Really appreciate that. As you'll see here, Accelgor being the tank again, eating up the superpower there. And then as you'll see here, he's above Rock Slide as well, because my boy Accelgor, he really is legendary. Gets off some nice little bit of chip there on the Mudsdale, really nice. Into Silvally here. Silvally takes 9%, genuine 9%. That's absolutely nothing. And I'm able to get a really nice parting shot here. So yeah, really happy about that. Gathering some more momentum. And I come in with my Staraptor here with 2 hazards up. As you'll see here, we're taking my opponent's taking the Spike and the Rocks. Unfortunately here, you will notice that I forgot I'm Intimidate, and unfortunately I'm meant to be Reckless. I would have 2-hit KO'd him there, but unfortunately, underwhelming amount of damage. I show off my heal block tech there, which is really nice. I parting shot out again here, which is great. My opponent goes for a Toxic. No issues there. I get off a nice U-turn here versus the Chansey. Back out into my Staraptor, as I believe he goes for a Wish, yeah. And I was slightly upset about my opponent staying in and not respecting the heal block, but it is fine, I mean, I do feel like I'm still on the upper hand here. I come in with my Empoleon here, and I believe I clicked Roar because I didn't want the Mudsdale getting healed up. Unfortunately, what actually happened was my opponent tried to heal up the Venusaur, and I ended up roaring him into Venusaur, into Mudsdale, sorry, which is really unfortunate. Anyway, here I go to Raptor on the Earthquake, I believe. And I just get off a close combat here versus the Chansey, as my opponent barely lives. I don't know whether that's a roll or something. I did think it was a min roll at the time, but I'm not entirely sure. Obviously, usually max defense on a Chansey, and I am choice Scarf, as you saw. So Anyway, Toxic here from the Chansey does not land because I have the substitute. And as you'll see here, the Cresselia tech coming into play. My opponent can't break the sub either, which is amazing, as I'm going to be able to get up a Calm Mind here as my opponent goes for a Wish. I mean, like, there really is nothing that the Chansey can do. I Toxic here thinking he might go hard Incineroar. He doesn't. Fine with me. I don't really care. I mean, my Cresselia is back at full HP anyway, and I'm going to be able to get off a nice sub here. So, yeah. As you see there, the Incineroar is taking a huge amount of chip from all the hazards I have, as I'm able to sub up here versus the Incineroar. Toxic is amazing for me here. And I definitely could just go for game right here. I really could, because I've got enough subs that with Toxic he should just die, right? But I don't want to be really, really low, because, it just kind of sucks. So I go into my Silvally Fairy, and this is great for me, because I can just pivot here with my Parting Shot and just gather some momentum, really. Why not? I get in Staraptor again here, basically just to threaten out the Crobat. I can't have the Crobat defogging any hazards. So go for a Brave Bird here, get some good chip on the Mudsdale, and I think here, actually, it's great if I get more chip on this Mudsdale. It's basically just putting it in range for Dragonite. As you can see here, this Mudsdale is basically dead to hazards now. It's not taking anyone. It doesn't outspeed anything on my team anymore, and it will just die to hazards plus any one attack from any of my Pokemon at this point. So anyway, I come in with Cresselia here because I know that I can just set up on this, no issues, as my opponent barely 2-hit KOs my sub with Heavy Slam. Goes out into the Crobat here as I get off a nice substitute. My opponent is forced to U-turn because they do not want to lose that Crobat. As I'm going to be able to, I believe I just clicked Psyshock because I didn't want him to get rid of hazards for free. My opponent's of course immune to that. Shows the leftovers there, but obviously counteracted fully by the Toxic, which is great. My opponent U-turns here, but that max defense Cresselia is incredible. Eats that right up. So as you can see here, Cresselia going absolutely crazy on my opponent. Really can't do anything. Takes out the sub here with his Garchomp, but takes 29% from Psyshock in return. You'll see that is pretty underwhelming damage for +1. And actually, the reasoning is because I put the wrong nature on my Cresselia. It was plus defense minus special attack. I was impish by accident when I should have been bold. But it's all good. I double out into my Silvally Fairy here on the Dragon Claw, completely immune to that. And as my opponent switches out, predicting the Fairy move, I am able to get off another Parting Shot here to get into my Cresselia again, basically. And now my opponent has minus attack. They really can't do anything. I believe I sub again. Yeah, I do. And this is amazing because, right, here again, my Cresselia is in a brilliant position. And because of that max defense, he doesn't even take out my sub in one. So I'm actually able to knock out the Garchomp here without even losing any HP. Without even losing any HP on my Cresselia, which is absolutely incredible. So I'm really, really stoked about that. Cresselia in here, I don't want to get hit really hard by that Crobat, so I switch out into my Empoleon because I know that without any reliable recovery on my Cresselia, I want to keep it nice and healthy versus all situations. And I know that I can keep up Rocks there. So as my opponent Synthesis is here with their Venusaur, I am able to, I believe, get up another Spike here, or I did just click Encore, yeah. So I click Encore there. I'm able to get up another Spike here, as I believe I go down to Seismic Toss. Yes, I do. But that's not an issue because I've got my hazards all the way back up again. My opponent gets pretty much nothing out of getting rid of them. I go into Dragonite here to try and get Dragonite some screen time, even though I know that my Crash just wins at this point. So I do basically just try and win with the Dragonite. Unfortunately, I should have Z-moved there to finish that off, but I was kind of anticipating the sack of Mudsdale, to be honest. But it's all good, you know. I get up another DD here. This bit's pretty basic. Basically, my Dragonite gets double protected. I decide to save it because I'm pretty sure that he's going to toss or something like that there, right? I come in with my Silvally, which knocks this out. My opponent comes in with their Crobat, which I kind of expected to die to hazards. It doesn't. It actually turns out to be Choice Banded Steel Wing and takes out my Silvally. But that's fine, because guess what? I've got an Empoleon here with Roar, 4 times resisting that. Roar him straight out into Venusaur, which is probably the worst case scenario since I could have just, killed the Incineroar. But it's game over now because, I just go out into Dragonite here, sack that, and then I come with Cress again. And here it is, substitute, Psyshock. As you can see there, me forgetting that I accidentally put Impish. But it's fine because I just sub here again. And as my opponent's Synthesis is exactly, I get up a nice ass Calm Mind here. And now my opponent has no chance of breaking this substitute. So it really is GG. Yeah, and after the leftovers here, even with the crit, which allows him to take out the sub, I'm able to sub again here and basically completely invalidate that. So it's brilliant, as I'm able to side shock for a 2-hit KO and win the game. So yeah, well played to Pre. Really close game towards the end there. I did kind of throw a little bit by going to my Garchomp first, but you know, I mean, yeah. I really feel like my prep was a little bit superior with the Cresselia, with the speed for Incineroar, and then, you know, just the set in general. And but yeah, shout outs to Pre for being so flexible with his times. Really appreciate it, to be honest, because I didn't have a lot of time this weekend to play this game, and I was struggling a little bit on prep towards the end, you know, really deciding what exact sets I was bringing aside from the Cresselia. So yeah, and shout outs to Mimolette really for helping me with the you know, helping me with the team and supporting me in the battle there, turning up in chat, and yeah, really cool of him to help me out. So yeah, basically GG to my opponent. Glad we got to bounce back from last week, and I'll see you guys in the next week, because I'm really hyped up now to play my next game. Yeah, really bounced back strong here. So I'll see you guys in the next game. It's another win for the South Hampshire Scyther, so that's brilliant. And I'll see you guys next time. Be sure to check out the rest of the DPL Draft League content. There's a whole playlist with it all in. I'll link that in the comment section, not comment section, the description below. So thanks for watching, guys. Peace out. See you guys next time. Bye.